This is the Brown Duke Gun Show. My name is JP Garcia, here today with Brandon and Austin. We are back together. It's like the reunion of like a month.
It's been a while.
It is, yeah. It had been since you guys went to that, since you went to that trade show.
Yep.
So long time coming, but good to be back in studio with these guys. Today we were talking, and being honest, this is take two. I screwed up the camera. This is why you have both of the guys on one camera. But a little behind the scenes, it's the studio is not as big as you'd think it is. But we were talking about Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer just passed this week. And, we were talking about his influence and those movies' influence on the gun industry. And not just the gun industry, but specifically, what did that do to drive purchases and collectors and things of that nature? We were going down that road. So, and when the cameras cut off, Brandon was telling about his grandfather, AC, and what he was collecting. So you want to go back into that?
Yeah. So my grandfather used to collect Winchesters and Colt guns, right? So Colt 6-shooters on Winchester lever guns. And he grew up like watching all the John Wayne movies and things like that and loved them. And that's what he wanted to collect. He wanted to collect a Henry. He never was able to get a Henry, but he was able to get like the golden boys of the Winchester. So like the brass receivers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he really enjoyed it and watching like Tombstone and John Wayne and all those things. And he loved to do it. And that's kind of like talking about the what's collectors like wanting, right? And what I realized like after he had passed away, once we started like getting rid of all these guns, is what is these guns going to hold value forever? Because whenever we went to sell them, the value of them kind of dropped, right? And the reason being because like all the people that did collect those were passing away.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like at one time they were very popular and everybody wanted them, but whenever those people get older and they start like having their collection and then they start dying off and then like all the families selling them off, it's like who's going to buy all these guns, right?
Yeah.
So then the demand like kind of drops, but the supply goes up. So then they're not as worth as much, right?
Yeah.
So any kind of gun that you're going to go ahead and collect, it's probably going to be like that. It's going to end up like that. But movies have a huge demand on that because if they start producing more cowboy movies, then the demand goes up,
Sure.
right? For instance, the Jurassic Park movie, it used the lever action gun, right? The
yeah.
Marlin gun.
Yeah.
That thing like blew up. So now you can't even find them. Like
Really?
brand new. Yeah. Everybody wants them, and they're not like old guns. They're brand new guns. We can buy them from Marlin, but they're sold out all the time because everybody wants it. And even like Marlin played into this, right?
Yeah, so you're talking about on the website?
On the website.
It says it's T-Rex rated.
Nice.
Yeah. It says like, every gun that they have is like, what is it used for, right? So some of them have like target shooting. Some of them have varmints, and like for the varmints, they'll have like a coyote and like a little squirrel or something like that.
Yeah.
So for the 4571, it says like deer, elk, and then T-Rex.
Come on, man.
Because like they know like, hey, the people are gonna buy this.
Yeah.
It's like cool.
Yeah.
So that was a very collectible. It still is a collectibles item, but like at one day that's gonna like go away, right?
Yeah.
My little girl loves all the Jurassic Park movies. We actually got to sit down and watch them the other day. And at first she's like, whatever. She's a girl, so she's I don't know about this. And now she's like, this awesome. Like, I love all the Jurassic Park. I want to see dinosaurs. Like, she has a dinosaur toothbrush, right?
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Because she loves watching those movies. So she's going to want to collect that gun like later on. She's going to think it's the coolest thing in the world, right? Another thing we talked about was like World War II guns now. Like, that's very popular. But at one day, like everybody wants World War II guns because we all had a grandfather that was in World War II, our great grandfather. We watched all the movies, like the movies in the last 10 years. If you look, they had a lot of movies that came out in World War II, right? Yeah. So like everybody grew up watching those movies and like, I want that gun. Like I want an M1 Garand. I want an M1 carbine. I want an 1911. Yeah. All this stuff. But whenever we like pass away, our kids are not going to know what that is, right? Like they're going to be like, who wants this M1 Garand, right? And we think it's crazy right now. We're like, oh yeah, our kids are going to want that. That's the same thing my grandfather thought. Yeah. Like, he's like, oh, my kids are going to want this. It's like, no, we don't want any of that.
If I show my, like I have a like all matching serial number Garand from 41. It's like, if I showed that to like a 19-year-old nowadays, he'd be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. And then you try to fire it and like, really, what the hell is this?
What is this thing? What is that ping noise? This thing sucks. And you just like internally crumble like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like you don't understand how beautiful of a sound that is,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Brandon's 100% right. Like, I'm a big World War II gun collector. Like, I don't have anything extreme, but I've got like my goal was to have like every nation's primary rifle with all matching. So I've got a Garand, I've got a Car 98K, and then I've got I don't have a Mosin because in my opinion they're kind of a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Even matching ones are like $300, $400.
Right.
I mean, they're still making them. They're still using them.
Correct. Yes.
I forgot what else I have. Oh, I have a Arasaka, a full mum Arasaka.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought that from Dutch actually.
Did you really?
Yeah. A full mum Arasaka. I have a
Shout out to Dutch.
yeah. Shout out to Dutch. I have an M1 carbine. And that's about it. But yeah, like I don't have any like handguns or anything. I just wanted like all the nation's like primary rifles.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing to collect.
I'd love to have like a Thompson, you know, but like
who wouldn't?
yeah, right, like a Thompson and like a like an MP44, that kind of stuff. But you know, I'm not a $40,000 machine gun, right?
Yeah. At least not yet. Buy a Sentry Manufacturing deadlock charging handle.
So I can go buy my Thompson, please.
Yeah. Well, then put a deadlock on it.
Yeah, I will 100%.
You need to.
Somehow have to. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you need to.
But so yeah, the brand is 100% correct. So like I think the same thing is like I'll show like my buddies like, oh yeah, this is like a full mum Arasaka, and like you can see all the stamps on it from like, and I can tell you like this mum mark. The mum is just a stamp, like where it was made, and then they call them full mum when they have like the manufacturing facility and then wherever it went to for combat. So they're very rare, and then they're just like, oh yeah, it's just some old bolt gun. It's like, God, break my heart, man.
You're killing me.
So it's like, you know, and it's like they're not terribly expensive like the Grands are nowadays.
Yeah.
And like I used to do a lot of gun show stuff because where I lived previously there was a gun show that would be like right down the road, and it actually was a really good gun show. Like it was a lot of old stuff, and that's what you go to gun shows for, like in my opinion.
Right.
Is the old stuff. And you know, like I watched the Grands climb over like a period of like 2 years, and then finally one day I was like, they're gonna keep climbing. I have to buy one, you know.
Right.
So bit the bullet and bought one. You know, I wanted the full matching everything, and then I wanted it to be shootable. So I bought, you know, you pay more when the barrels are still good. But like Brandon said, like, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get that money out of it, but it's like,
but it's something you want.
it's something I want. And like, eventually, like whenever we have like an office space, like it's something I'd like to hang up on the wall. And I'd love to have like I've always dreamed of having like a presentation, like a shadow box for them with all 3 guns in it for like all the nations, besides Russia. Cause again, Mosin, I'll go buy a $200 Mosin, but
and that's why you collect guns, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's for you. It's like for what you want to do.
Yeah.
And my grandfather understood that, like, you know, before he passed away, he kind of like told me that. He's like, hey, look, this was for me. Like I enjoyed it, but like, whatever y'all want to do with it, like if you want to sell it, sell it. Like don't hold on something because it's me. And I was like, oh, I know, because like we had a great relationship like that, you know. But like he understood that, and like all my uncles and aunts and all of them, they all understood. Like they have, I think, 3 guns that we kept out of hundreds.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the uncles wanted it because they went to a gun show together and he bought it together with him.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even one of the most expensive ones. Like it was like a $1,000 gun or something, you know, like he had some guns that were worth $20,000, $30,000. Right. Mm-hmm. But this one was like $1,000 gun. He's like, I want that one because I bought it with him. Like I was at the gun show with him whenever he saw it and like went and purchased it. Yeah. So it meant something to him. It was like sentimental thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So that means more than what the actual value is. And I think whenever people start collecting guns, especially if they have a ancestor that collected it and they get passed down the guns, they think these guns are worth so much money, right? Yeah. And they come to me with like this estate and they're like, hey, like I need to have this estate sale and like I want you to, these are what I think the guns are worth. I'm like, they're not even close, right? Like you have to give half these guns away, right? Like we get that stuff all in the shop, like 22 long guns. Like these little, you know, bolt action 22s. Yeah. They're like,
lever
like,
action 22s.
This is this is an old gun. Like it's got to be worth some money. I'm like, it's worth $0. Yeah. Like you would have to literally give it away
to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a bolt gun now, like what is a bolt gun in 22?
$300.
Like $300.
Yeah.
So like this thing
is modern.
Yeah, it's modern. And it works stainless barrel, like all this stuff.
No pitting, nothing.
Yeah. This thing's super old. It's like has 0 life left because there's so much lead in the barrel.
Yeah.
And then it's a wooden stock. stock that's probably cracked and everything else. Is like, you can't do anything with this, right? Like, give it to a child and say like, hey, this is from your grandfather, and go from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. A prime example of that is it's maybe a little bit over a year ago. We got a call from a lady at the shop that her husband had like passed away in the past couple of months, and he had a gun safe, and she was like, I don't know what to do with any of this. Can you guys come look at it and just see like, you know, what these guns are worth? So Dalton and I went over there. Nice little old lady in Erath, and we went over there, and so we start going through her safe, and same thing. It's just like some cheap revolvers and stuff. And I get to the back of the safe or whatever, and there's an M1 carbine. And so I looked it up, and it was an inland M1 carbine. I couldn't check the barrel or anything, but I asked her about it. I was like, do you know anything about this? And she's like, no, my husband had that gun forever. And so I told her, I was like, this is I'm pretty positive this is an inland World War II M1 carbine, which is the rarest ones besides the ones that were made by I forget who, but it was like the Postal Service or something.
The one that I want that I've never been able to get a hold of is IBM.
Yeah,
IBM
that's what I meant. Yeah, IBM made them. That's what I'm thinking of. So and then after that, it was the inland models. So I told her, I was like, look, I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you. Like, this gun is worth a lot of money, and she was like, you know, like. She was like, well, what do we have to do? I was like, well, I'd have to take it. I'd have to get it appraised and have to bring it to a gun show or something of that nature, or find a collector. And she's like, well, I don't want to do any of that. I was like, well, look, I'll buy it from you, but like, you know, I'm not going to give you $4,000 for it. Yeah. And she was like, I don't want the money. She's like, you can have it for $200. And I was like, I felt bad. I was like, man, like it's worth a lot more than that. And she's like, I really don't care. Like, I just want to get rid of it. And I was like, okay, if that's how you feel, that's how I got my M1 carbine. But like, I tried to give her a fair price for it. And she was like, same thing. Like Brandon said, she was like, I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
She wanted to get rid of all. She had like one gun that like, it was her handgun. She's like, that's the only one I want. She had like 10 or 12 little pistols. And she was like, y'all can take them. Y'all can have them. And one of them was, a SIG 938. That's the little.
I remember the 938.
The little hammer.
I had one.
Yeah. So it was an Equinox model. So it's like a real slim, slick looking model.
Yeah.
And I mean, I looked it up. They're $1,300 guns. And same thing. She's like, just take it. And I still have it. I use it as a wedding gun.
Yeah.
So like, it's like she gave us a bunch of these guns, but you know, like Brandon said, like her husband probably had like a lot of sentimental value to these guns, especially like the M1 carbine.
Right.
But she was just like, you know, but like we were always transparent with people that like, look, this gun might be worth a lot of money, but like it's going to take a lot of effort to find someone to pay that amount of money for it, right?
And the opposite way too. Like, we have some people that think that it's worth tons of money, and we say no, it's not. Like,
and it breaks
transparent. It bothers them.
Yeah.
But we've like let them know like, hey, it's just not. And we've had some of them that's the opposite. I had a lady come in very similar to that. She had Aubrey brought her in, right? And she had 2 revolvers in a Whole Foods bag, right? Like,
okay.
She had this, like, 'cause she's like, I'm scared to touch them. I don't want to, like, mess with them. Here you go. And one of them was loaded. Like,
always.
357 mag. But it was 2 snake guns, right?
Oh,
so
wow.
it was a Python that was blued, and she had a Diamondback that was blued. They're both
Colt Pythons are very
Colt
popular.
Pythons. And so I was like, ma'am, look, I'm glad you brought it to us, because like this gun is worth some money. She's like, and she didn't know. She's like, they're just 2 guns. I want to get rid of them. Like, I want you to take them away from me, and we can do whatever paperwork. I just don't want them in my house because I'm scared of them. Right. Okay. And I was like, well, no, ma'am. Like, I'll take them from you for that reason, but like, we're gonna make some money on this, right? Because a Python was worth like $3,500 at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, this is what the gun's worth. We're gonna put it up for sale, and like, this is the commission I'm gonna charge, but I'm not gonna just take the guns away from you,
right?
And that's it, you know. Right. And she was gonna bring them to a pawn shop before. And Aubrey,
man, she would have got smoked.
Yeah, she would have got smoked, right? So like, Aubrey stopped her and was like, no, like, you know, I have some people that I trust that can tell me exactly what the price is gonna be,
right?
And he brought them over there, and I ended up put them in the shop for like a couple weeks, and the people that just came in through, they didn't, like, no one was looking for that gun, so we ended up shipping them to Houston in an auction sale, and she got like top dollar for them.
Nice.
You know, so it's like, yeah, we're gonna get you fair price for it,
but it takes that's the level of effort though that
exactly.
it takes.
Yeah, it takes that type of effort to do it. So we're gonna be fair with you no matter which way you're gonna go.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and you know, we see it with modern guns too, and like, this is not picking on anybody or anything, but like, we'll have guys that come into the shop that'll bring like ARs, right? And they're like, they want to put them on consignment, for like, they're like $3,000. And it's like, man, you put an upper on a lower. And it's I'm not going to name brands, but like,
they're like mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range guns. And they're like, well, it's custom. It's like, it's not custom. Like you threw an upper on a lower, and I'm not bashing anybody that does that. I'm just saying like you have to understand the worth of your gun, and then they get upset about it because they're like, I spent $2,000 on it, and I'm asking you to, and I want $3,000 for it. And it's like I'm not gonna put it on this wall for $3,000.
And then they take like the MSRP, right? So like they bought it for $2,000 because they got a deal on it, right? And they got it on sale or something. But then they look at like MSRP, which no one pays. Yeah. Right. It's like a sticker price on a vehicle. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like usually no one pays that price. So they're like, well, that's what I want for it. And it's like, you can't get that. You can't even get regular, like what it sells for because it's used gun. Yeah. Right. So you're going to have to get like less than the used gun for it. And they'll get upset about it. And it's like, it's not going to move. Right.
Well, and there's a difference between like custom and you put it together in your garage.
100%. Like they don't know what real custom is. It's the same thing with vehicles, right? Like you can buy like an actual custom vehicle that's like a built from scratch, like the engine and everything else. Or you can take a truck and put some mud tires on and be like, oh, it's a custom vehicle. Yeah. Like, that's what they're doing, right? Yeah. Like, they're putting an optic on and they're like, oh, it's a custom vehicle. It's like, no. A custom gun is like an Eddie gun or like an Infinity gun. Yeah. Like that's a custom gun.
Or like a surgeon rifle.
Or like a Gunworks rifle. Like that's a custom built rifle that like you call them and say, hey, this is what I want. Yep. And I want it in not only like this color, like this is where my cheek fits on the gun. So they're going to make the cheek rest for you. Yeah. Like the other day I had a customer come in and bought a staccato from me yesterday. And I was showing him my trigger on my gun because he wanted to change over the trigger. Right. And he's like, oh, you changed the safeties. I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's actually some safeties that my gunsmith cut for me for my open gun. And he couldn't understand that. I was like, those safeties are cut from my hand. Yeah. Right. Like the way that they sit on my hand, like they will cut on the ambidextrous side to where it doesn't touch my trigger finger.
Your knuckle. Yeah.
Right. Like, so it's like he measured all that stuff and said, this is where it needs to be, and cut me 2 safeties, so I'll put 1 on my staccato. Yeah. Like that's custom, right? Yeah. It's built for me. It's not built for anybody else, right?
Yeah.
So
we're even hesitant like AR stuff, like when we have like we throw together like the parts that we like still hesitant to call that like a custom gun. Like I didn't do anything but put parts together. Right. It's just a build at that point. Yes. It's not a custom gun. Right. So, but yeah. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. And then so we see that with old guns, and then we see a lot of it with modern guns, with modern movies, and then video games. Like that's the biggest thing.
And that's I think what you should be collecting now. Like if you're wanting a gun, if you're from a pure collector standpoint or investment standpoint, I think the way to go now would be a video game gun or something that's of new age that people are like you can still get them. But like they're popular in video games, so where those kids get older, they still want that from their childhood, right? Assuming
you can get them. A lot of that stuff in like all full auto or stuff like that. But
so you can't really get them, and that's what like we started collecting a lot of machine guns, and I know not everybody can do that, but like me and Austin both have started buying some of that stuff because one day they're going to be worth some money, even to other gun shops, right? So like it's a smaller market, so you can't really like sell them very easily. But the amount of guns that are out in the industry are like even fewer, right? There might be 10 of them out there. Yeah. So it's like, well, if somebody wants this exact replica, it's gonna be very difficult to get out.
Yeah. And we see people that come in, like we have the machine guns that we have a lot of machine guns. We only rent a couple of them. And we see that too. Like, guys will walk in and see the MP5 and they're like, I have to shoot the MP5. Like I played it in Call of Duty. Right. Yeah. And it's like,
or Die Hard.
Or Die Hard.
It's Die Hard movie gun.
Nobody knows about Die Hard. But with their infinite amount of ammunition. But no, like seriously. Yeah. So like, there's like different generations of like, oh, that's the Die Hard MP5 or the even better Die Hard gun, the AUG.
Yeah. Horrible. Horrible gun.
But so with the MP5 and then like we have a UMP in 45, and I had a guy like 2 days ago that was like, I'm coming back. like later this week to shoot that UMP because it was my favorite gun in Call of Duty. And like it's funny to tell him because it's like, yeah, like you should absolutely shoot it, and you're gonna realize that gun sucks. It sucks.
It sucks to shoot. Like whenever they designed that gun, they want it to be better than the MP5. They're like, hey, this is gonna replace all the MP5s.
Yeah,
it's like so bad.
It's
like,
a full plastic gun with a big ass metal bolt in it that just beats you to hell.
Man,
but
it's
looks
chambered
really
at 45,
cool.
and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that like people that have played those games and have played like watched movies with it, because there's a very popular movie gun. Yeah, you should definitely shoot it because like you can live through that experience, right? Like,
and so like I shot a UMP.
Yeah, like we were talking about Val. What is
Val Kilmer?
Kilmer. Yeah. So like whenever he did like the movie Heat, he had that little Car 15, right? It's like I wanted that gun because of that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like so we built that gun. We had like an old C7 upper or whatever it's called, like the forged upper with the carry handle on it.
Yeah.
So we built a machine gun and put that upper on it with a little like a 10-inch barrel, regular handguard, fixed front sight and everything. And like I relived that experience because of that movie. You know, like where he's hiding behind the car and like gets up, shoots it, and then gets back down, like does a reload, gets back up. So it's like, yeah, that's really cool because you can live through that experience. But those are the guns that you'd want to kind of collect or like go through it.
You know the one I wanted, and I shot a bunch of them. I never ended up pulling the trigger on. Is I'm older than you guys. I didn't play Call of Duty. I played James Bond.
Yeah.
You know, GoldenEye. Yeah. The Walther PPK.
Walther PPK.
Oh we talked about it the other day. Yeah.
That's a horrible gun.
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
So bad.
Yeah, we talked about that gun the other day. I was like, because we were talking about Walther, and I said, we were talking about other things, but it said I would love to own a PPK because of GoldenEye. Yeah, I would love it, like because that's the James Bond gun.
And it
with
looks
a silencer
really
on it.
cool. Like whenever you see it and like in person and stuff, like it looks awesome with the silencer. Yeah, it'd be great. But like whenever you shoot it, the edges and the back strap are so rough. Like they're just like cut and they're sharp. So whenever you shoot it, just like jams right back in the web of your hand. And it sucks to shoot. It's direct blowback gun. It's not a Browning design, right? So the barrel is like fixed. So you just have all the recoil that's coming back into your hand, but it's like one of those guns that you want to collect just because it's cool.
I wanted to have. I wanted to talk myself into having that as my carry gun for years. and I have buddies who had them, and they're just so bad.
They are
just so bad.
But that's the big, and that's why we're talking about today is like movies, how they influences the gun industry, and that's exactly like perfect example of it. Right?
I mean, look at Taron.
Yeah.
Look at what Taron did with John Wick.
But his to Taron's credit, his guns are actually okay.
They're great guns.
Not bad. They're not bad
great guns. Yeah, we got to shoot them. I mean, we all got to shoot them. They're great guns. Like, I mean, the Pit Viper is like incredible gun.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the fastest gun I was like ever able to run like outside of like a one
gun.
of your open guns.
Yeah.
And it is open gun pretty much. Like and that's what's cool about like what Taron did is like the guns that are actually good that we actually compete with, and it's like, man, this is awesome. He brought that to the movie industry. Right? Because before they had the Walther PPK, they had the Marlin, gun from Jurassic Park, right? So like they had all those things. Like, man, this is not really fun to shoot. It's kind of bad.
Yeah.
But whenever he brings those guns and whenever people shoot them, they're like, wow, this is like really cool.
It's a for real gun. Yeah,
it's a for real gun.
I mean, he's a GM.
He's a GM,
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I don't know this for sure, but I think he was also influential in bringing Infinity into. Do you guys remember that show Heroes? Did you guys ever watch that show Heroes? It was like a Marvel clone type show where people had powers and stuff like that. But one of the guys in there shot an Infinity, and it like he was in the thing, and I was like, it's an Infinity. It's like, oh my gosh, like I started watching the show because the guy had an Infinity. I was like, okay, it's like an okay show.
But but as crappy as the show is, but I'm watching it for the Infinity.
Exactly. And it was like, oh, but that's a for real gun, you know? So, and then same with Taron's guns.
And that's a very specialized gun. Like most people that would see that would never even know what that gun is.
You wouldn't even see it.
But like we do as a gun thing. So I think that's really cool to do that. And I'll do that while watching other movies. I'm like, oh, look, that's a UMP. Or look, that's an AUG, or like, a G36. Like that's why I wanted G36. I finally was able to buy one because I've seen it in so many different movies. And like, is it the greatest gun ever? No. Like,
but it's like the ultimate bad guy gun, and it's also like the ultimate unobtainium.
Yeah, it's like a gun that you can never get, right? Because like they made it after 1986, so like you really could not own that gun unless it was a machine gun, right? And unless you're a law enforcement agency, so you can't find it. But like, I'd much rather shoot like an AR. Like, I think ARs shoot a lot softer and a lot better. But it's like, I always wanted that gun out. Still do want it, you know. Even though I have it, it's like I still want to keep it because it was just a cool gun.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And then like video game modern, like we talked yesterday because I don't know how we got on the topic, but I told Brandon, I was like, man, I think like I really want to buy a ShayTac.
Really? Okay.
M2000.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's one of those guns that like people won't know what they are. And I was like, no. People know what they are. Like, it was a huge deal in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They called it the intervention. But like, if somebody saw that gun, they'd be like, holy crap, it's an intervention.
Like, you have one.
Yeah.
And you know who has one? Anthony.
Yeah. So
No kid. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
yeah. So that's why he was like, I'll call Anthony and see if he wants to sell it. I was like, dude, I'd love that.
It's a Gunworks rifle. Like, it's awesome
He
gun.
wouldn't sell any. Like, there's no way he'd sell it.
And I had it. I was like looking through a safe. I was like, "Is this 50?" He's like, "No, it's a ShayTac rifle." I'm like, "I don't know what the hell that is." He's like, "It's a 2-mile gun."
417.
Okay, whatever. I don't care about it.
It's just like my Infinity like 7 years ago. Like, what the hell is this bullshit?
What idiot paid $8,000 for this?
Yeah. There's a number of companies and guns that we could say that about, but but no, like it's a video, like it probably is the most popular sniper rifle that ever existed in like the 50, I don't know how many Call of Duty games they have. 100%. It's the M2000 or intervention, whatever they called it. But that's why same thing. Like, I've always wanted a ShayTac rifle.
Sure.
And then like ShayTac is like kind of like. ShayTac still exists, but they don't really produce guns. I think I told Brandon this the other day that I think the only thing they're doing is Gunworks builds ShayTacs now.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody wants a ShayTac, you have to go through Gunworks. So it's like they're very, very hard to find. And then the ammunition is either like 417 ShayTac, or they have like a little bit smaller diameter bullet, but like they're not common calibers.
Yeah.
So the ammunition is extremely expensive.
Gunworks would build it for you. Like, if they build you the rifle, they sell you the ammo with it. Like, you can go back and get, like, that's really cool. Like, on that company, because they keep all your load data for that specific rifle. So whoever owns that rifle, you can call them like, "Hey, this is my serial number. I want more ammo," and they'll make ammo for you.
That's kind of how it is, like with Infinity.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like they'll tell you exactly what.
They'll tell you exactly what it is. Yeah. So, but that's what you get for custom guns.
That's what a custom gun is, right? Like, that's exactly what a custom gun is.
Yeah. So, so then a different tangent off of this topic, right? So this is kind of what people have bought because of movies, right? And video games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's everybody name their top 3.
Yeah. Okay. Go
Guns.
Yeah. Like, what do you think the guns that people have bought, whether it is the gun or a clone, because of a movie or a video game?
For me, it would be like, so for me, like I only have one of these guns.
I think we're all going to say the same.
No, my
gun.
PPK. Right, I told you about the PPK, AR-15.
Okay,
you know, because before I knew anything about guns, I was like, oh, look at that, like that's the Rambo gun, right?
Okay,
so I want an AR-15 and like a side-by-side shotgun.
Okay,
you know,
okay,
because yeah, like there was but I thought there was like a special one way back when that was like in it's like one of the vampire movies. That was, you know, they were using it. It's like, oh, that'd be a cool gun to have.
Yeah.
I don't remember, and it was like in my like teenage years, so it was like eons ago.
Dang, yeah, I thought you were gonna have this. I know me and Brandon are gonna have one of the same guns.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So like my number one gun, I said that I wanted was a G36 because of the movies.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people collect or like they know what it is from movies, from like the AK. Like AK variant, you know, like just don't have one, and I don't like have the. I had one at one time. It's just like I'm never gonna use it, you know.
I'm the same way. Like I if someone gave me an AK, I would take it, but like I'm not buying one.
Yeah, like I had one.
I just don't. I would, and it would be in 5.56.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be in 7.62 by 30 or 5.45. Like if I'm gonna buy one, it's either gonna be in 5.56 or the rare AK caliber.
My buddy Kyle would like he's like burning with anger right now. He is like a super AK guy.
And I get it. Like I get it. You know,
I would buy like a Norinco or like a Mac 90, like the Chinese made ones, because like they're really good guns, and like I'd want one like where it's pretty much straight metal, like all the bluing and everything. percorizations like all coming off of it.
Well, they have
just
modern
because
ones
it
now too, right?
looks
Like
really
they're
cool.
Yeah, like
making
with tack
modern-
rails and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd want to collect one of like original ones, you know,
yeah.
like original wood to where it looks like a movie gun almost.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, and then the other one I always like. One of my favorite ones to shoot is the MP5.
That was the one I thought everybody was gonna say.
Well, I guess that's. I'm taking off the table guns that I can't get.
Well,
right?
no, but you can is what I'm saying. Is like if it's a like you can
get
buy
a semi-auto.
you can get a PTR.
Oh yeah.
Or a semi-auto HK. So that's why I said like clones too.
Okay, because I was thinking
or a
like
Zenith.
M60.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Guns-
M60 is really cool too.
Yeah.
Because like Rambo.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
minigun from Alien. I'd
Yeah.
like to have one of those.
Yeah.
You know, like that dude that carried it. You know, it's like I'd like to have
That'd be
one.
my three is G36, MP5, and like AK. Not because I want the AK, but because everybody knows what it is.
It's iconic.
It's iconic. Yeah, like the second they see any World War II movie or like not World War II movie, but like any movie that's like from Russia or something like that, they see an AK in it. They see the what's the pirate movie? The
Pirates of the Caribbean?
no, the Somalian pirates. Like they're using AKs,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah, Captain Phillips. Like that was, iconic movie, and they all had AKs in it. So it's like any movie that's out, they usually have some type of AK variant in it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of like it's like your own take. It's kind of independent, the three of us, because it's like kind of based off of like what movies you watched, what video games you've played.
Yeah.
And so like I played like a lot of the earlier Call of Duties. So like
World War II stuff.
Yeah, MP5 is like that's my biggest one. Is I think everybody wants an MP5 because and like I said, they make clones that are very affordable nowadays. I think a PTR is like $900,000.
No, yeah, PTRs are kind of more expensive, but the
They've went up because when I bought mine,
Sentry Arms.
Yeah,
makes
they do,
one
yep.
That is like $1,000. It's
Yeah.
not $900.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
yeah, and they just the only difference is like they don't have the reputation of being like a direct clone,
Right.
versus like PTR or a Zenith. But
Made
yeah,
off
like
of HK tooling and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
you know?
So the MP5 is definitely one for me. That's my biggest one, I think. I'm trying to think what else. Like I want to say like a Glock 19X because it was the like primary gun that you started with in Call of Duty Modern Warfare in 2018. It was the COVID Call of Duty.
Okay.
So it was the one that everybody played because there was nothing to do.
Got it.
And so
It must have been 2019 or 2020.
yeah, so the 19X was like your primary thing. So I think a lot of people want a 19X for that reason, and we still get a lot of people that come and ask us for 19Xs. And I'm telling you, it's because of that.
Yeah. Y'all just have a bunch of X stickers and just
Yeah, well, they're tan is the
tan,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah, they're tan. So, and then I have to tell people like you can find them online, but I'm pretty sure that they've been discontinued by Glock and they've been replaced by the whatever 47 or 45,
Yeah.
whichever one it is. And the third one, man, I don't know, it's tough. Like I'm trying to think of guns that like people have like access to, like we talked about.
Yeah.
So we did.
So mine was like different because it's what one I wanted, and which one I think is the most popular, and which one I think that I guess everybody really wants.
Yeah. Mine were so generic because like I'm remembering specific ones from like that like and I wish I knew the
movies.
movie. It's like that vampire movie where that dude had that shotgun. There's like a weird looking shotgun, you know. It's like I want that one.
Was
you
it
know?
like it was just like a standard double barrel,
It
or was
wasn't
it like a pump?
No, it was. I don't even remember.
It was a modern looking gun.
No, it was like
It's like apocalypse looking.
it was like a wizard gun or like some
I know which
crazy-
movie you're talking about.
yeah.
It wasn't Blade, right?
no.
What, Blade used certain guns too.
Oh, I know one. This is a weird one, and I've had a lot of people ask me if we can get them. Is the Bushmaster ACR?
Oh,
I had one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
didn't have
was
others.
bushy.
yeah in Modern Warfare 2, it was like the best gun in the game.
A bushy.
Bushmaster ACR.
That was like whenever they were doing the contract with the Scar,
yeah,
right?
Yep, yep.
Oh,
The
okay.
Bushmaster ACR, and you can't find them.
So I
Wow.
thought about like collecting all of those whenever I had that one because I had that one and then I had the Bren 2, right? And so I was like, man, if I can get like, and we have a Scar, so it's like getting all of those guns all together. To
A Scar is another one too.
Yeah, Scar is definitely like a very like as soon as people see it, they're like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Right, because of Call of Duty and stuff
Fortnite.
like that. And Fortnite
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So scars are definitely another big one. And then like people, and then they see the price tag on them, and they're like, "Oh crap, they're like $4,000."
Yeah. People that usually like want these, they're not like gun people.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're people that like watch movies or play video games. So like I want it because of that.
Because
movie.
of that thing.
They're not actually shooters or like, you know, in the gun industry.
Right. Well, I have a buddy, a good friend of mine, actually, Mike, who he bought this when he wasn't like a super avid shooter yet. It goes back to the World War II stuff, but he wanted, and I tried to talk him out of it. Mike, you're gonna watch this, and you're gonna you're gonna hate that I'm telling people about this. He wanted like a new make of a vintage 1911, right? With the stupid beaver tail.
Dude, so many people want that. The old GI ones.
Oh God, the GI. Yeah. And it's like, Mike.
I have one as a rental gun because like people want to come in and shoot it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I watched this like in different movies or like, you know, so original 1911 and I want to shoot it in 45. Right. Like, I had the one gun that I wanted to keep from my grandfather. Actually, Skip has it now. He bought it from me.
Okay.
With under the conditions that if he ever sells it or if he ever has to get rid of it, he has to give it back to me so I can keep it back in my family.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was a vintage 1911 from World War II that's stamped U.S. government on it.
Oh, nice.
And it's a Colt.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like I definitely want to keep that gun, but I wouldn't rent that out. Right. But people want to shoot it and be like, hey, I want to have that experience.
Yeah.
So I do have one. It's like a Filipino made like Tias or something. Yeah, dude. Like, so they rag on because like, oh, it's not American made. It's like, bro, you know that Filipinos are like very into shooting sports. Like, they make guns like really good, right? Like they're sitting there with files and hand making them. So like, it's going to be a pretty good gun.
Yeah.
I have one that I 100% forgot, and I'm actually going to switch out my my final gun for this one instead, the Desert Eagle.
Of course, the Eagle. The
Desert Eagle.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah,
actually.
the Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
And I bought that gun strictly for the fact that like, and I bought the gold tiger
Golden
stripe
Eagle,
one because in the first like Call of Duty that ever became like multiplayer, it was that was like the end all be all gun. Like if you saw somebody with a gold tiger stripe Desert Eagle, you were like, this guy's never got off this game.
That's right.
This guy hasn't seen grass.
Camo pack unlocked.
Yeah, this guy has not seen grass for weeks.
And what's cool is like
and you could shoot him as like this was before like the games were like balanced, and you could just like as fast as you could pull your controller trigger, it was like grrr. You know, you can't do that with a Desert Eagle.
Remember how like rapid fire, like double tapped it?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, dude. It was, like I had to really lean into that gun.
Oh,
but we
man.
collect a lot of these guns, not really because they're like cool to shoot and fun to shoot. Like we have the UMP, we have the Scar, like we have an AUG. Like we hate all those guns. Like I don't like them. Yeah. But like what's really cool, or what I love about those guns is that you bring them to a show. Like you bring them to like we do like the night out for the kids in Youngsville.
The Barrett's another one.
A Barrett's
Of
another.
course,
The
the
50.
Barrett, yeah.
We bring them to like.
So yeah, I
golf
take that back. I
tournaments.
want a Barrett. You know, you guys know I want a Barrett, but again,
Barrett.
I never shoot
You
it.
have a Barrett, right?
Yeah.
Don't you have one?
I don't have.
Your
a
dad
Barrett.
has one, right?
He does not. to
I
my
thought he had the
knowledge.
Mark 22 the deployment package.
He may have told you that. I don't know that.
I don't know. He's
it's
gonna
somewhere
have
in the
one.
house. It's somewhere. You'll find
It may
it.
be in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You'll
He's
find-
gonna have one sooner or later.
Yeah.
He'll buy one from
Yeah,
me.
the Mark
yeah.
the Mark 22 is the MRAD, but it's the development. It's the deployment package.
Yeah.
So it's like the Leopold scope they use with the surfboard and everything. But do you want one of the modern Barretts or do you want like the old school triangle break?
Oh no. I want a modern one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, you want a modern one.
And like, what was cool about all those guns, like whenever we bring the Barrett out or Desert Eagle or like the AUG or Scar or anything like that.
Thank
like,
you for including my AUG. I really appreciate
I
that.
do, because it's like an iconic gun, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, even the Scar. Like I don't like the Scar, but like you bring it out.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And like all the kids know about it. Like, so you go to like the night out, like we talked about for the like Youngsville police thing, where all the police departments are out, and like they have like their Bearcat and all that stuff out, right?
Yeah,
Which is really cool.
yeah.
And like we'll just bring these guns, and all the kids are like, "Whoa! Like this is all for the movie, or this is all the Call of Duty."
Yeah.
And they're able to like touch it and like feel it and like hold it. You know,
Yeah,
we're
take
like
selfies with
yeah,
it. Yeah.
like they look at it and you just see their eyes are just like huge, right? And we're like, "Hey, you want to hold it?" And they're like, "Oh, like I can't believe you're gonna let me hold this gun," you know? And they're like, "Man, it's really heavy. Like it's not like in the video game where I can run around with it, you know?" But yeah, like we let them like hold it, and we show them like our take on it is like, hey, while they're holding it, because they're so amazed by this gun that they get to take a picture of it, we're showing them firearm safety.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So we're making sure their muzzles up, their fingers off the trigger, and all that stuff, and we're teaching them that but they don't really know they're learning anything.
It's like
right?
you can only hold it if you keep your finger off the trigger and don't point it at anybody. And
they do an awesome job.
Yeah, they do a great job, and their parents are taking pictures, and their parents are happy. Their parents don't even know that we're like teaching them firearm safety at the time,
right?
Because like, man, I can't believe like. Thank you for letting my kid to hold it because like you just made his day, right? Exactly. So that's what's cool about it, and that's why we like having those guns in the safe because we can bring them to events like that and like kind of not to show them off for us, but it's like to make a kid's day, right? Exactly. Or to make somebody else's day.
Well, and teach them too, right? Yeah, because they're not gonna, if they're holding the gun that they're like, oh, this is in the game. I love this game. You know, it's like they're going to listen to every single word you say.
Exactly. Whatever they have to do to hold it. Yeah,
absolutely.
And then the same thing, like generationally, like when we bring out the M60, like the like guys like our age, or you guys' age, it will be like, oh my god, it's an M60, and
we
it's
are
like,
striated in age. I'm just letting you know.
It's usually like guys that are like in their 70s.
Yeah, and they're like, dude, I use this gun.
They used it in Vietnam. They're like, oh my god, like, you have one of these? And I'm like, he's like, I haven't seen one of these in years.
Like,
you know?
does it actually work?
Yeah, he's like, man, I remember like having to dump oil on it, and like they know like all the facts about it and stuff.
Yeah.
So like they get excited just like seeing it again, like kind of bringing it back to them.
Yeah, automatic transmission fluid I heard was a big one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Diesel.
Diesel.
Like they
I heard about diesel. Yeah.
Because the environments were so harsh, they would start rusting and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like so it's like kind of cool to bring a lot of those guns out and just make people's day. And sometimes we don't even like whenever we go to the range, we don't go there like if I bring someone to the range, I'm not shooting. Right. Because like whenever we go shoot, like it's training and it's work. It's a job.
We talked about that before,
It's like whenever I bring someone shooting and bring all these cool guns out that they get to like live through their experience, like that's what's fun for me, right? And that's why you want to like collect those guns. Yeah. It makes it exciting.
So here's a tangent question. So we talked about like the guns people buy, right? What do you guys see like when these type of movies come out or new video games or whatever, training, you know? Because I know that, you know, Mike, I'm going to out you here again. You know, when the latest John Wick comes out, you hear, I was like, man, I was just dry firing the other day. I was like, I know you were. You know?
See,
like,
I don't hear that.
Yeah.
What I hear is like what I see is when they come in for actual training, they do all the wrong things,
of
right?
course, yeah.
They do all the things that they've seen in movies like we work barricade stuff. Like we teach people like how to use barricades.
Yeah.
First thing they do is run up to the barricade, right? And get as close to it as possible. And like they almost want to like put their back against the barricade. And it's like, you never do that, right? Like ever.
Yeah.
Like you never, but in the movies, every movie they have it, right? Even on pictures of like Die Hard, I have a poster that's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right. And you see like Mel Gibson there with
Bruce
the Beretta.
Bruce Willis.
Like with the Beretta, like leaning up against the thing, right? Like he's in the movie doing that. And it's like, oh, that's like what people do, right? So like whenever they get into real training, they do the same thing. They get right up to the barricade and they like want to like stand closer to it. And it's like, no, this is actually how you do it. They just do that just for the film.
Well,
right?
so they can see, because if you slice the pie when where you're supposed to, you're not going to be able to see anything.
You can't see anything. Yeah, they can't see their face and everything. And usually the directors are not like actual gun guys. Yeah. Like that's why I like Heat so much, because like one of the directors, his brother was actually a SEAL. So like he taught him like bounding and stuff. So if you watch them like through those cars, like they're bounding, they're communicating, they're moving, like all that stuff. They're doing everything right.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's really cool to see.
Yeah. So this is a really good list. We can kind of end it here, but I found a list on Reddit of the most popular movie and video game guns.
Ooh,
and a lot of these I'm like, yeah, this is pretty accurate. So it says Glock 18/19X. So 18, of course, is not obtainable for civilians, but the Uzi.
Uzi, I forgot about Uzi. Yeah.
Uzi. Mac 10.
Mac 10. Yep.
AK-47. The AUG. The PPSH 41 was made popular by the first ever one was Enemy at the Gate. I don't know if you've ever seen that old World War II movie.
Yeah.
And it was a very good gun in Call of Duty. The M16, the FAMAS.
I haven't thought about that one.
That's an unobtainium one.
Yeah.
The PP Bison. They're making replicas of those nowadays. So those are more obtainable. The SPAS 12.
Okay.
I have one of those. I have a SPAS 12. The Mosin Nagant. P90. Did forget about that one.
Yeah, P90.
I forgot about P90.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a fun gun to shoot too.
Yeah.
And you can buy them.
Yeah.
Like you can buy the PS90, but same thing.
The UMP, we touched on that one. M249 and
I want one of those.
Yeah, the Beretta 92 FS. That's the
Beretta. Yeah,
that's the 3-round burst one. With the little foregrip. Thompson, the M60. Oh God, how did we forget this one? The MP7.
Yeah,
How did we forget this one?
Unobtainium, but yeah. We will have one of those one day.
Yeah.
You ever seen the things that's like whenever you hit the lottery, but there will be signs.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody, but there'll be signs. Me and Brandon will have a
MP7.
When you guys buy enough charging handles, me and Brandon will have an MP7.
That's right. Yeah. Whenever you see us do a video of MP7, you're like, they made it.
We won't be able to put gas in our vehicles, but we will have an MP7.
And we'll be just burning through 4-6 rounds.
It's gonna run. Yeah, you're gonna change your vehicles to run off of brass.
Yeah. The Car 98K, the M1 Graham, the AWP. So this was a gun from Counter-Strike. The AWP is the original Accuracy International gun. The bolt action gun.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was a couple more I saw on here. Oh, the Vector.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a cool. We have one of those.
Yeah, we do have one of those. We need to get a full auto one. Brandon, they break a lot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, there was another one I saw in here that I was like, yeah, that's another really good one. That's about it. The M1911. So 1911 pistols. The Lee Enfield, I guess. Mosin Nagant.
Wasn't there a movie or a game that had the FN57 as like the feature gun or something like that?
And that's a cool gun.
That's a Modern Warfare 2, I think.
Okay.
I played all those games. Like I haven't played any of the newer Call of Duties, but I think they just keep using the same guns. Yeah. And I never played any of them that was like the fake guns, like futuristic laser guns and stuff. I never played any of those. But like I loved the other ones because the guns were real. Yeah. And it was like, man, I can like own these guns. And then they had the MP5 in there, of course. Yeah, 5.7. I missed it. It was in the corner. 5.7. But yeah, it's like it's and then the AS Val. That's a pretty cool little gun.
What's the AS Val?
The AS Val is it's a Russian-made integrally suppressed sniper rifle that is also full auto. Believe it or not, it's a sniper rifle that's full auto, and it shoots a really weird cartridge. And they even developed a model of it that was made to shoot underwater,
like a 6.5 Creedmoor type.
The bullet's like this long.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So like this is an AS Val.
I'm trying to think of a sniper rifle cartridge that you could also shoot. Oh, that's a cool looking gun.
Yeah.
What's the it's another very popular gun is like the what's the one they're using?
Oh, Dragunov?
Yes, the Middle East.
The Dragunov.
Yeah,
the Dragunov. Yeah. They make replicas of them nowadays.
Yeah. Very popular.
I think Sentry makes them.
Really?
The Sentry makes replicas of the Dragunov. That was a really big one.
I have a feeling that gun's going to be like very bad though.
7.62 by 54R.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like if you actually got one in real life, that's one of those.
They said that a real Dragunov, they were incredibly accurate.
Really?
Yeah, but the replicas they say are not.
See, I thought like whenever you like everybody always says they're accurate and they're like sniper rifle, but whenever you get one, you're like, oh, this thing's garbage.
Yeah.
Like compared to like what we have here, right? Like
sure.
If you're gonna spend that much money, you get like a Gunworks rifle or like Atchison International or Barry or something like that.
Yeah, get a Surgeon.
Yeah, Surgeon. Like I don't think it would be like that type of accuracy.
Yeah, but yeah, that was definitely one of them. And then like 50 cals, of course, like the belt fed 50 cals. M60.
I've always wanted to get a Surgeon. I have no reason to have one.
This is the list. This is the list of the most popular movie guns ever made. Number 1 is the MP5, and it is a picture of Bruce Willis.
Yep.
The FN High Power.
Oh, the High Power.
Somewhere Dalton's ears just perked up. Number 3 is the Walther PPK.
The PPK, and you know this.
Yep. The M60. Rambo. And then Lord of War, it was in that. And then We Were Soldiers, Black Hawk Down, Tears of the Sun. The 44 Magnum Smith & Wesson.
Oh, of course, the 44 mag. Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. I was about to see anybody. Yeah. Dirty Harry, yep.
Yeah.
The M134 minigun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's Alien.
Yeah. And also Alien, yep. Let's see what else. The 1911, of course. The Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Desert Eagle was in the Matrix.
Yes, I think it was silver.
It's black.
Or is it black? Oh,
Yeah.
look there. I don't know.
And then Deadpool, of course, uses the 2 gold ones.
Right.
AK-47.
Like every single movie ever.
Yeah.
Every movie ever. The Beretta 92 FS.
Yeah, it's a very popular
I think that might
movie
be
gun.
Oh, and then honorable mentions are the M203 grenade launcher. These are fake guns. I'm not mentioning these. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty good list.
Yeah. So
So that's how I think collecting stuff, the movie industry definitely has a huge effect on collecting firearms.
Yeah.
You know, and what people want to collect. Because at the end of the day, it's not like what's really a good gun or what's a bad gun. That's not what people collect them. It's because of what they remember from that gun, what reminds them of it.
Yeah.
So it could be either a war, could be a movie, it could be a video game, and the gun's only worth what people are willing to pay for it at the time.
You know what's interesting? I just thought about this right now. You know, like a lot of the Hollywood and all of that stuff, those people, they are very anti-gun.
Till it comes to making money.
Do you guys understand like how many guns you guys have sold as Hollywood?
Yeah.
It's like there's more guns there than could ever be sold by anybody else.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like the video game makers in Silicon Valley, they hate, guns, and this is like, but like guys, you are the walking ad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
use
doing the most
guns.
for us.
If you hate guns so much, why are you using them in your games?
Yeah.
Right?
Make like fake guns. Make like laser guns that
why
don't
are you
exist.
shooting people in your games?
Yeah.
Right? Like
Exactly.
You say that you hate the violence because of it, but yet you're shooting people with guns.
Or you're showing people the violence in movies.
You should make a video game where like you can kill people with cancer or something.
Yeah.
Tell me if that sells. Like, I bet you it doesn't.
I saw this meme the other day, and it was like this old man, and he was just like stunned, and it was like my grandfather watching me play a video game about the worst day of his life.
It's true.
It's so
D-Day.
Yeah, it's so bad. You're like, Grandpa, look, I'm killing all these
Killing all the Germans.
race of people, and it's just like,
I'm killing all the Nazis, Granddaddy. Yeah, look
But
at this.
it's oh god, that's funny.
Can you imagine, like in other places, like maybe in Japan?
Yeah.
They've got the flip version of that.
Yeah,
We're killing all the Americans.
yeah. I think somebody actually asked about that one time, like about like that, like video games in like other countries, and like they're like, we don't play them. we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we missed a few. So like definitely, if anybody has any movie, video game guns, put them in the comments. If you have some cool historic gun, like we definitely missed some.
Yeah,
So
certainly.
make
Put
sure
a
you let us.
picture of it. Like, that way everybody can see it. Maybe we can do like we need to get all the cameras to the shop and like go through all the guns.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh
kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah, we can do that.
Do like a manual arms of them. Like, hey, this is how you load the gun. Because like in Call of Duty or whatever, it's just like it automatically
It's very fast
happens.
too.
Yeah,
and it's
fast.
like, but like
You'll
the
know all the
G36.
buttons.
Yeah, it's like
G36.
it's really cool how the mechanisms work, and like
Yeah.
the AUG's the same way. Like it's a
AUG.
funky gun, but like it's a very cool mechanism the way it works. You know.
Yeah.
The Bren 2,
Bren 2.
that has like different controls on it.
Yeah.
The Scar.
Yeah.
Like we can show the reciprocating charging handle. Even like an AR, like people come into the
I don't
shop
have no reciprocating
and-
charging. You know what I look like?
and they're like, well, what does this button do? Or what does that
Yeah,
button do?
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
we can go through like a manual of arms of each gun, like
That'd be
very
cool.
basic, you know.
That'd be really
but,
cool.
Like,
The Barrett.
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
The Barrett.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you see those video games where they're reloading the Barrett like super quick. It's like
or shoulder firing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're lost.
Running around with them on shoulders, you know.
yeah.
It's like trying to pick it up.
Yeah.
I have a picture of me like shouldering it and like holding it.
Yeah.
And how the picture got taken was like, all right, are you ready?
3,
yes.
2, 1.
Go. And then you gotta pick it up and like you better hurry up and take this picture.
Did you
It just weighs so
did you
much.
guys see that video where Jerry Michalik he did a bell
Yes.
drill with it
Yeah,
or
he did,
whatever?
yep.
It's like you've lost your mind, dude.
Yeah.
Like he probably needs shoulder surgery after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the older models with the triangular brake.
It definitely
Yeah.
didn't have a silencer on it.
Yeah.
No,
The
it didn't.
silencer
Silencer
weighs like
weighs-
10 pounds.
Yeah, it's so heavy.
It makes it so front heavy, but
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
definitely make sure leave us some comments of what cool guns you have. What if there's a gun you want from a movie that's like I can't buy it because it's only a machine gun. I'm sure there'll be a billion MP7 comments. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry, we'll buy an MP7 for you.
Well,
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you can
well,
come.
the comments said we had to buy
yeah,
it.
had to
and,
buy it.
and you can come to the shop and you can rent it for $1,000.
Yeah.
If there are enough of you that list that you're going to rent it,
We
can
have to buy it.
We can lower it to $500 a
Yeah,
rental.
that's right.
You know?
That's
So Or if you want any of these guns and you don't have access to them,
call us.
Go to sentrydef.com.
Yep.
You'll find the phone number, order it.
Yep,
You'll
we
get
can,
it.
We can get them all.
Get them all. And if you don't live in the area, they can send it to you.
We can ship it. Yep.
So there you go. All right. Thanks, gents. This is a good one.